Hi everyone, I'm going to be making a very short video. I received an email a couple of days ago, I should say, not a couple of weeks ago, and it was regarding some changes the DVSA are going to try to implement. These changes are quite important, so I thought this is why I want to make this video. I actually get up-to-date email from DVSA, Driver Vehicle Standard Agency. As being an approved driving instructor, I always register myself, so any new changes I can pass that on to my students so they know exactly what's happening. So the email, I'm going to read the email out. So 30th of March 2023, we are announcing changes. We are planning to make these booking system in summer 2023. So they're trying to implement these rules by summer of 2023. These changes are aimed at encouraging learner driver to only book and take the driving tests when they are properly prepared. So the statistic from February 2023 shows that around 53% of learner drivers are failing their car driving tests, and driving examiners are having to physically intervene in 1 in 8 tests for safety reasons. This suggests that more than half are not ready to take the driving test or drive safely and responsibility on their own, taking that responsibility on their own when they're driving. These changes tend to improve pass rate, make more tests available for learners who are ready, and help to reduce driving tests waiting time. These are part of a package of measurement that were public consulted on in 2022. I kind of vaguely remember having an email from DVSA saying that they are going to be consulting to change the rules, and what did I think about it. And I kind of remember saying on the email that I do agree on some of the rules, what they are doing. So what are they doing? So they're extending the period that who fell for the driving car test to wait before booking another test. So imagine you fail your test. Before, you could just wait 10 working days to book another test. But now what they want to do is you're going to wait 28 clear working days. That's basically a month. So if you fail your test, you may have to wait a month. Well, you will have to wait a month for to book another driving test. So the DVSA is saying that will give learners the time to undertake additional learning, training and experience, which will increase the likelihood of them passing their next test. We also foresee this having a positive impact on car test waiting time. But my opinion is, if that person is kind of test standard, because as a driving instructor, I make sure my pupils are test standard, because I usually do mock tests before they even go for the test, the practical test. If they just fail on something, maybe I might get more than 15 minors, or they may have just one serious mistake. I could sometimes help them to correct that mistake within probably 2 or 3 lessons. But if they're going to wait for a month, they may actually lose practice, or they may forget some stuff. So, it's quite debatable if I do agree from that 10 working days to 28 clear working days. Also, something else they have actually introduced, they're going to be introducing in summer, is extending the notice period, which a cancelled test, which was result in a fee. So so basically, imagine you had a test on a Tuesday. Actually, to make it a bit, if you had a test on Friday, if you would give 3 clear working days, so imagine Tuesday, you said, you know what, I'm not really ready for that test. You could cancel that test, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So you give 3 working days on Tuesday. If you have your test on Friday, then basically you do not lose your fee. So if you pay the fee for the driving test on your test for Friday, Tuesday, you think, I'm not really ready. So if you and your driving instructor agree, you could just cancel your test or move your test to another day. But now what the DVSA is introducing is you must give 10 clear working days. Again, I don't 100% agree with that, because with 10 working days, I could probably teach the pupil a lot of stuff to correct a mistake. So I kind of think, having that 3 cancellation days, I think that was more sufficient enough. But I understand why DVSA is doing 10 clear working days. It's giving people who's ready for the test opportunity to book that driving test with their instructor, so making sure their driving instructor is ready. So why are they planning to make these changes? Many of you told us that some learner driver want to pass the driving test as quickly and cheaply as possible, and that you've been able to stop pupil booking a test before they are ready. So they're planning to change this changes because we think that they encourage learner driver to be better prepared for the driving test, help to reduce the number of driving tests, appointments that are wasted, make more tests available for your pupil who are properly prepared, make it easier for you to find a test that are cancelled at short notice for your pupil who are properly prepared, give you pupil who have failed the first time the need to properly prepare for the next test. I do get a lot of people ringing me up, especially not from the county of Colchester. I get people ringing me from all different locations, and they sometimes book tests in my test centre is because they can find it quite easily. But sometimes I can clearly see that when I ask them, are you ready for your test? Not really, we need quite a few more lessons. But I get people ringing me up to say they got a test again on Friday, and I get on Tuesday they were ringing me up and say, look, I need to kind of get 5 or 6 hours lesson. But again, I sometimes think that's wrong. So again, hopefully these changes will probably help. Also, another change which the DVSA has made is they want to make it compulsory that ADI, that approved driving instructor, must keep their badge, it's like a certificate, to show that they are approved driving instructor in the window. At the moment you don't need to have that on your front window. You can just take it off on the test. But I keep my one in my car because I make sure my pupil are kind of ready for the test. So if they're not ready for the test, I wouldn't even tell them to go on a test. I would tell them to move the test, because I do a lot of mock tests before they even go on that practical test. But some driving instructors don't need to do that. It's not compulsory, but they want to change that law or the rules where you must, as an approved driving instructor, keep that badge in your window. Again, it's to monitor driving instructors to see that they are doing the correct jobs, that they were teaching the pupil properly, or what mistake are they making. And then that keep on our file. So we get like a standard check every 2 years. So it shows that the driving examiner, when they test us as a driving instructor, to see that we're giving correct lesson if we need that little bit more help. If anyone have any comment, please do write any comment of what do you think of these changes. And thank you again. And please do subscribe to the channel, because the more people subscribe, the more I'll start making more videos. Thank you very much. Bye bye.